Take a look at the various offerings in the pickup market and you'll see some pretty well established names. Cars like the Ford Ranger, Mitsubishi L200 and Nissan Navara. Cars that are rugged and durable, and while some of the older offerings were a bit more utilitarian and rough around the edges, the latest models are more car-like than ever. Now, there's never been an upper tier to the 4x4 pickup market, that is, until now. Mercedes-Benz is looking to join the party with this, the X-Class. Inside, the cabin definitely has a premium feel to it over the competition. Yes, there are still some scratchy plastics on show, but in no way is it off-putting. There are elements of the interior that have been carried over from the passenger cars, which is no bad thing. It features a 7-inch tablet-sized infotainment system that sits at the top of the centre console, and it's controlled via a rotary dial at the handbrake. It isn't particularly intuitive and will take some getting used to though. There are also some neat touches like these stylish air vents and instrument panels, and the comfortable seats are fully adjustable, although the steering is only adjustable for height. One feature that I really don't like though is that the wipers, indicators and high beams are all controlled via one stalk rather than other cars that have two. It's a bit frustrating, especially if you find yourself jumping in and out of other cars. The X-Class is only available as a double cab. There's no single cab option, which means you will always have space in the back for some extra crew, and they won't be complaining about space there either. There's a decent amount of head and leg room, but as with most pickups, you really need to climb into the back because of the ride height. Now, one of the reasons Mercedes wanted to use the Navara as a platform for its X-Class is that it is one of the biggest pickups in its class. It's got a load bay that's 1,587mm long and 1,569mm wide, and it has a usable 1,087kg maximum payload, making it a perfectly usable workhorse. Whisper this in Germany, but when you strip the X-Class right down, what you're left with is the underpinnings of the Nissan Navara. That means it uses the same ladder frame chassis and multi-link rear suspension. However, Mercedes makes it very clear that it's made huge steps to improve the chassis and suspension to make it more car-like than the competition. To be fair, the suspension on the Navara was pretty impressive for a pickup, and Mercedes has widened the track, strengthened it and retuned it. It feels pretty composed through the corners with a little body lean, and the steering is responsive and confidence inspiring. The only concern we'd raise is that the ride can be a little fidgety over rough surfaces, but to be fair, this is something that afflicts most of the competition. As it stands, there are only two 4-cylinder diesel engines on offer, both of which we've seen before in the Nissan Navara. The X220 is powered by a 2.3 litre turbocharged diesel which pumps out 161 brake horsepower, while the X250 adds a 2-stage turbocharger which increases power to 187 brake horsepower. An X350 with a 3 litre V6 diesel is also expected to be added to the lineup. Now, it's not exactly what you'd call quick. The X220 will do the 0 to 60 dash in around 13 seconds, and the X250 will do it in 11.8 seconds. That translates to a driving experience that's a bit more sluggish during more spirited driving. But really, this isn't a car you're going to buy if you want driving thrills. Mercedes already has that base covered. Fuel economy isn't as healthy as the Navara it's based on. This is largely because it's around 227 kilograms heavier than the Nissan. The X220D will average a combined fuel economy of 37.2 miles per gallon, which is around 8 miles per gallon less than the equivalent Navara. The X250D will average 35.8 miles per gallon, which is 5 miles per gallon less than the same engine in the Navara. Some of the extra weight is as a result of soundproofing, which makes the X-Class one of, if not the most refined pickup on the market. It's also got all the off-roading tech you could possibly need too, including a selectable 4x4 system with low-range gearbox and hill descent control. For anyone who's going to really use the off-roading ability to its limit, there's also a locking diff for the rear axle and an optional 20mm increase in ride height. Now there really is a lot to like about the X-Class. It's spacious, it's capable both on and off-road, and it's got an interior that's built to a standard that we've come to expect from Mercedes. The only question marks that we'd raise are that the running costs are more expensive than the Navara that it's based on, and with prices starting at around £32,000, it's not exactly what you'd call cheap.